This is R.D. Sharma solution. We are taking exercise 17.2 from chapter number 17, increasing and decreasing functions. Determine the value of x for which the following function, this one, is increasing or decreasing, x square minus 6x plus 9. Also find the coordinates of the point on the curve on this where the normal is parallel to the line y equals x plus 5. Now if you see the previous chapter, that is chapter number 16, the second part is actually related to that one. So we have already done questions, lot of questions like this. The first part is of this chapter. So we'll combine them and try to form a proper solution so that we get the value of x. So first thing is fx is x square minus 6x plus 9. So dy by dx will be equal to, this is, you have to take the differentiation. So it will be 2x minus 6. Now in order to find out the critical point, 2x minus 6 will be equal to 0. At what point it is increasing, at what point it is decreasing. So this 2x minus 6 equals to 0, that is x is equal to 6 by 2, that is the critical point is x equals to 3. Now if you see here, this is the critical point. So anything which is greater than 3, which is 3 to infinity, will give you something, and anything which is lower than 3, which is negative infinity to 3, will give you something. And let's just see what is that something. F dash x greater than 0 for increasing, f dash x less than 0 if it is decreasing. So we have 2x minus 6 greater than 0, that is x is greater than 3. So 3 to infinite, this is x belonging to this range or this domain. Then we can say that it is increasing in 2x minus 6 less than 0. So x is less than 3. So in the interval, I should not say domain or range basically. It's interval. So this is x belongs to anything which is lower than 3 is negative infinity to 3. So this is where we got it is increasing and decreasing. Now coming to the find the coordinates. So we are interested in x and y. We already found the slope. 2x minus 6 is the slope of the tangent. What is the slope of the normal? Minus 1 divided by dy by dx. That is dy by dx is nothing but the slope of the tangent. So we have normal parallel to the line y equals x plus 5. Y is equal to mx plus c. If I equate, we get slope which is m equals to 1. So slope is m is equal to 1. So this is nothing but dy by dx. No, this is not dy by dx. This is minus 1 by dy by dx, because the tangent, it is normal. We have to find out the tangent. So dy by dx is 2x minus 6. So it has to be equal to negative 1. How negative 1 will come? I am saying if you want to equate 1 with something, it has to be 1 equals to minus 1 by dy by dx. Or slope of tangent is minus 1 divided by, that is minus 1 divided by 1. 1 is the slope of the normal. So slope of normal is equal to slope of the line, which is already given in the question. It is not the tangent. So slope of the line is 1. Slope of the normal is what? Minus 1 divided by 2x minus 6, as I said. It will be minus 1 by dy by dx, and dy by dx is 2x minus 6. So negative 1 by 2x minus 6 is equal to 1. So 2x minus 6 is equal to, this is just multiply here. So 2x will be 5, x is equal to 5 by 2. So x is 5 by 2 here. Now what will be the coordinates? You already have the x equals to 5 by 2. So why not to put this in the original equation, which is y equals to x square minus 6x plus 9. When you put this, I am just replacing x by 5 by 2 in this equation. So when you solve this, y you are going to get as 1 by 4. So x was 5 by 2, y is 1 by 4. This is your coordinates. Now let me show you how you are going to write and solve it, because verbally I told you and the logic I explained, but how you are going to write is all here. Just follow this. Now there are a few questions related to trigo, that is trigonometry. We have find the intervals in which this sin x minus cos x, where 0 to x is between 0 and 2 pi. 2 pi is 360 degrees. So we are talking about increment and decrement, or increasing function and decreasing function in this interval 0 to 360 degrees. I am differentiating it now. F dash x is sin x will be cos x will be minus sin x. So it will be cos x plus sin x. Now if you want to find out the critical point, just put it as 0 and you will get cos x equals to minus sin x. That is, if you divide both sides, you will get basically 10x equals to minus 1. So basically 10x equals to minus 1 is the critical point. So you have to find out what is the x at which tan will be equal to minus 1. So let us start with this greater than 0. I am just taking this f dash x and making it as 0, putting the negative on right side, dividing both sides by cos. You will get 10x. 10x is greater than minus 1. Now add sugar to coffee. They are all sine, tan, cos. So in all the quadrants which all are positive. So tan is positive at first quadrant and fourth quadrant. Now tan x is greater than minus 1. What does that mean? That is the value of x at which First of all, when it is going to come as 1, just start with the basics. See, tan x is equal to what? Tan x equals to 1. Tan x equals to 1 is at 45 degree. And tan 90 minus theta or tan 180 minus theta will be what? Because tan 180 minus theta will be negative tan, because it is negative in the second quadrant. So tan 180 minus 45, you can just write like this, because tan theta and tan 180 minus theta, they are complementary. So 135 degree, 3 into pi by 4. See, if you multiply 3 pi by 4 by 180 by pi, what do you get? This is 9, this is 45 degree, 45 into 3 is 135 degree. So one angle is 135 degree. So this is 135 degree. What will be the other angle? Here, it will also make the tan x, which is equal to -1. So we have 3 pi by 4, and I know that when I'm making a line, you know that this is 180 degree angle. So just add pi more. So you'll get 7 pi by 4. What I'm saying is, from 0 to this 135 degree or 0 to 3 pi by 4, this tan x is going to be greater than -1, and it will be less than -1 when you're going from 7 pi by 4 to 0. I hope you got the idea. Oh no, 7 pi by 4 to 2 pi, sorry. It's 2 pi, not 0. So 7 pi by 4 to 2 pi, it is decreasing. 0 to 3 pi by 4, it is increasing. I told you how you got it. Because if you know tan x equals to, when it will be equal to 45 degree, you know when to add pi, when to subtract it by pi, so that you get a -1. So this is less than 1. What will be the less than 1? So again, see, tan x is greater than -1. You have to take both of them, 0 to 3 pi by 2 and 7 pi by 4 to 2 pi. Well, now less than -1 is what? All those places where this 0 to 2 pi, which we made the range or the interval combined, if it is not greater than -1, that is, it is less than -1. See, 0 to 3 pi by 4, it is plus, in case it is increasing. 7 pi by 4 to 2 pi, it is increasing. When it will be negative? It will be between 3 pi by 4 and 7 pi by 4. So when tan x is greater than -1, it's the whole union, and when it is less than -1, decreasing, is 3 pi by 4 to 7 pi by 4. Now just see how we have solved it, and this is the solution reference for you, because it will be very easy if you make the line, make the number line, show it to the examiner that what do you know, how you have solved this question. Next one is fx is equal to e raised to x is increasing on r. You have to show that this will always be increasing in r. This will go up always. It is not coming down. So increasing on r is real number. Real number means any number possible. So fx is equal to e raised to x. When you differentiate this will be e raised to x, and differentiation of 2x will be 2. So 2 e raised to x. So minus infinity to infinite you have to go. And as I'm saying, that this will always be positive when you take this as greater than 0, because e value is 2.714 something. This is an approximate value of e. 2 is already positive. So whatever you put at x, any negative value or any positive value, you can put any value. You just show me any value, you will see that it will always be positive. Just take x equals to -1 and x equals to 1. So e raised to x, what it will be in e raised -2. E raised to a positive 1. So 1 by e square, e square. E is a constant number. So it will always be positive. And you are squaring it also. The good thing is you are squaring it also. So there is no problem here at all. Always it will be positive, because e is a constant number and it will always be greater than 0. It will never be negative. So once the value, that is f dash x, is always greater than 0 in all the real number, this range. So 2 e raised to x greater than 0. I explained you why it is always greater than 0. E raised to x will always be greater than 0 if you divide both sides by 2 in the real number. That is why it is increasing on r. So just see how we have to write. Whatever I have explained is being printed here. Show that e raised 1 by x, x not equal to 0, is a decreasing function for x, all x not equal to 0. So this, what they have given, all x not equal to 0 or whichever thing, this has just been given because x, if it is 0, 1 by 0 will be infinite. E raised to the power infinite will be infinite because e is a constant number. That is why they have given x not equal to 0. But e raised 1 by x will always be decreasing. So just find out f dash x. E raised 1 by x. Differentiation of anything to the e raised to something will be always e raised to something. So e raised 1 by x if it is a variable. Now differentiation of 1 by x also has to be done. That is negative 1 by x square. So what do you get? Minus 1 by x square and e raised 1 by x. So you have e raised 1 by x and this minus 1 by x square. So you have a negative here. That is, you have a negative sign. So we have to explain that other things will always be positive. So e raised 1 by x, and in the previous discussion also I told you e is a constant number. So whatever you put in x except a 0, it will always be constant value. That is positive constant value. So there will be no negative at all that you can get from e raised 1 by x other than 0, put anything. How about x square? You put minus or plus. It will always be, square will always be positive, plus. When everything is positive, what does it mean? The numerator denominator is both positive in any case, but there is a negative outside. So the result will be negative always. So it will be, if you say f dash x, it is always negative. So it will always be decreasing. Any function which in any case is going to come as negative, that is, it is decreasing all. So how are we going to solve it? So this is the result which you have just seen. Show that the function fx log base ax. Now in initial discussion, various points where this log has come, I have tried to explain what this log is, because one thing is log base ax. We call it as ln x, natural log, and anything which has base, log has base, log base ax. So log base ax means, it just means a raised to the power y equals to x. It's just that only. If you have problem in finding the log, just take this a raised y equals to x. So when we have differentiation log ax, you can take the natural log, make this into natural log. So log x divided by log a, base can be e. So log base ax can be made like this. Now differentiation of this will be what? See, log a is already, in the denominator is already constant. So we have to just differentiate log x. Log x will be 1 by x. And that is the definition of this differentiation also. It will be 1 by x log x. The base is e. Now when you find out that between 0 and 1, if a is there, and if it is x greater than 0, it's like a stick which generally the elderly people use. So if it is between a is between 0 and 1 and x is greater than 0, then this always be decreasing. You see, this is the graph also, it is decreasing at this point. So with the graph it is quite clear, and with the result also, it is 1 by x log x. Anything which x greater than 0, a is between 0 and 1, f dash x will always be decreasing when x is greater than 0, because you know that a is between 0 and 1. If it is greater than 1, a is greater than 1, then it will be increasing. So whatever I have told you, you have to explain it like this. It has no more explanation. The explanation which I gave is enough, but you have to write it. It is not written here, but the explanation has to be written, because it is simply 1 by x log a will always be less than 0. Show that the function fx is equal to sin x is increasing on 0 to pi by 2 and decreasing on pi by 2 to pi. That is 0 to 90 degree it is increasing, and 90 degree to 180 degree it is decreasing, and neither increasing nor decreasing in 0 to pi. So 0 to pi is 0 to 180 degree. So increasing, decreasing. So the second part I'll give the answer first. See, if there is certain interval that is 0 to 180 degree, and at some point the function is increasing and at some point function is decreasing in this interval 0 to 180 degree, then you can say it is neither, the function is neither increasing or decreasing in this interval 0 to 180 degree or 0 to pi. That is very clear. But there may be some parts where it is only increasing, there may be some parts it's always decreasing. So you are not increasing in this range 0 to 180 degree, you are not decreasing, basically you are on the top or you are on the plane. So now this explanation which I gave, why increasing or why it is neither increasing nor decreasing, this will come when we say it is strictly increasing in 0 to pi by 2 and strictly decreasing at pi by 2 to pi. That is 0 to 180 degree has two intervals, 0 to 90 degree and 90 degree to 180 degree. Isn't it? Okay. So we will just take one by one part and show that it is increasing and decreasing. Fx is equal to sin x, but we have to show that first of all the differentiation has to be taken. Sin x will be cos x, and this f dash x has to be greater than 0 or less than 0. And cos x is equal to 0 is the critical point. But at what point cos x equal to 0? At pi by 2. So this is the critical point, and we already know that below it and above it, it is going to be increase or decrease. So f dash x greater than 0 is increasing, f dash x less than 0, it is decreasing. So f dash x is basically cos x. Cos x is greater than 0. What does it mean? Cos x is greater than 0. We are talking about add sugar to coffee. So cos x greater than 0, where cos x will be positive. Cos x will be positive because cos x will always give you the result negative 1 to 1. Cos x negative 1 to 1. So from it is greater than 0, so we are talking about 0 to 1 interval. This is not the number line, I'm just trying to show you what I mean, that the cos x range is always negative 1 to 1. So if it is greater than 0, we are talking about the range between 0 and 1. So what are the theta value for which 1 and 0 will come? Because cos 0 is 1 and cos by 2, pi by 2, I'm just crossing it because it is not a number line. Just to explain you that this 1, 0, minus 1 is the range. At what value of pi or theta or angle this is going to come. So 0 to 1 will come only when we are talking about, see, pi by 2 to 0. So 0 cos pi by 2 is 0. So the angle will be pi by 2. In order to get 1, you will have to have an angle as 0. So this is 0 to pi by 2. Cos x is greater than 0 in 0 to pi by 2. How about decreasing? Same thing, f dash x less than 0, that is cos x less than 0. Cos x less than 0 means again, you are talking about the range which is negative 1 to 0. And negative 1 will come when this 0 will come when, what will be the angle when cos is added to that angle? The cos pi by 2 is 0 and cos pi is negative 1. So pi to pi by 2, or you can say pi by 2 to pi, it is going to be less than 0. Now coming to the second part. See, 0 to pi by 2 it is increasing, and the whole interval 0 to pi has two intervals. In one interval it is increasing, we have shown it. In other interval it is decreasing. So in the whole interval of 0 to pi it is neither increasing nor decreasing, because sometime it is increasing, sometime it is decreasing. So let me show you what I have explained, and this is what you have to give. And I would urge you to make the diagrams and add sugar to coffee to make it more stronger, your argument. Show that fx is equals log sin x is increasing in 0 to pi by 2 and decreasing on pi by 2 to pi. Again 0 to 90 degree and 90 degree to 180 degree we are talking about. So again I am making a number line. I am not making the actual number line. I am just trying to show that this is 0, this is pi by 2, this is pi. Okay, pi is basically 3.14, you know that. So we have 0 and 90 degree and 180 degree. I have just made the number line to show you that we are talking about this interval 0 to 90 degree and 90 degree to 180 degree. So you have to show that at one point it is increasing, at first interval, second interval it is decreasing. So what is the ninja technique? F dash x differentiated log sin x. So sin x, differentiation of log sin x is 1 by sin x. Sin x differentiation will be cos x, it will be cot x. Cos x by sin x is cot x. Now put it here. See, add sugar to coffee. Now this is tan. Tan and cot, they are brothers. They are almost similar. So at the first quadrant and third quadrant, the cot x is going to be positive. In the second quadrant and the fourth quadrant, the tan x or cot x is going to be negative. So f dash x greater than 0, it is for increasing. So cot x should be greater than 0. That is, we can call it as tan x greater than 0, right? So this tan x greater than 0, because cot and tan has are the reciprocal. So tan 0 is 0, you already know that. But we are not talking about angle here. We are talking about the interval. So we know in the trigonometry, 0 to pi by 2, it's always, cot x will always be greater than 0 in the 0 to pi by 2, because this is the first quadrant I'm talking about. And in the second quadrant, what it will be? Because in the second quadrant, this cot is going to be negative. So f dash x less than 0 means cot x should be less than 0. When cot x is less than 0, we are talking about which quadrant? This is pi by 2 and pi. So between pi by 2 and pi, it is going to be negative. So cot x greater than 0 in 0 to pi by 2 and cot x less than 0 in pi by 2 to pi. So x will belong to pi by 2 to pi. So this cot x is less than 0. So this is how the positive and negative will come. And this is where we can say that it is increasing in 0 to pi by 2 and decreasing in pi by 2 to pi. So this is the whole explanation here. This diagram, you have to make it. Now let me show you how you are going to write it. Whichever explanation I have given, you have to write it, because this is the first quadrant, this is the second quadrant we are talking about. We know what happens in the different quadrants. Now there are various questions which are coming. So we'll be taking them in the later discussion. Till then, thank you so much and take care of yourself.